The bar hushed as one of the most dangerous songs to be found on any karaoke machine began to play, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Its Freddie Mercury high notes and falsetto rock choruses once led BuzzFeed to warn, "Do not attempt without alcohol." No Dutch courage was necessary for these singers, though. Those perilous high notes rang out effortlessly, Galileo, and the song's mock operatic passages sounded second nature because they were. These rhapsodists were actually Metropolitan Opera stars, cutting loose on their night off with a slightly different art form on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. It was a week before accusations of sexual abuse against the Met's longtime conductor, James Levine, would emerge, roiling the company and the opera world. And it offered the rare chance to hear opera stars sing for the sheer joy of it. The ringleaders were the mezzo-soprano Susan Graham and the tenor Paul Groves, who had spent the day rehearsing LOLA'S The Merry Widow, which runs at the Met through January 11. In recent years they have made a habit of organizing Let Your Hair Down karaoke nights with castmates around their appearances together in cities including Paris, Chicago, San Francisco, and New Orleans. The singers found themselves trading lines in Bohemian Rhapsody with the ebullient tenor Barry Banks and rocking out with air guitar solos that would have been right at home in the movie Wayne's World. When the bar door opened and the mezzo-soprano Jamie Barton, currently starring in a revival of Norma, walked in, they pulled her to a microphone just in time to join them for the song's melancholy "Nothing Really Matters" finale. They basked in the whoops and cheers of colleagues and strangers alike. "We all grew up on these songs," said Mr. Groves, who added that the karaoke nights offered them a chance to sing for the sheer pleasure of it and to unwind a bit. Their karaoke night, on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, brought several operas worth of singing talent to Whispers, an Upper West Side bar about a mile and a half north of the Met. It offered a rare chance to see top-flight professionals display their talents on a field that usually belongs to amateurs. It was a bit like going ice skating at Rockefeller Center, only to discover that Michelle Kwan was also there, breezing through Axls and Lutzes. The result was something like an opera gala with highly eccentric programming, or perhaps a jukebox musical with a very distinguished cast. Mr. Groves showed himself more than proficient in the collected oeuvre of Journey. He got things going with Separate Ways, Worlds Apart, and returned later with Don't Stop Believin'. The rising soprano Andriana Chuchman, who just starred in Gluck's Orphée et Eurydice at the Lyric Opera of Chicago, traded her Eurydice for the Eurythmics, singing a duet of Sweet Dreams, Are Made of This, with the tenor Victor Ryan Robertson. All will join Ms. Graham and Mr. Groves in The Merry Widow. The baritone Michael Todd Simpson channeled his inner Garth Brooks with Friends in Low Places, looking the part in a buffalo check shirt and baseball cap. Mr. Banks proved himself the evening's scene stealer, throwing himself into a fully committed rendition of Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. And it turns out that the baritone Jeff Matsey is also quite a harmonica player. He did a mean blues harp solo over one track. As the mojitos and martinis flowed, and the laughter and dancing increased, the operatic karaoke night began to resemble ordinary ones. But only to a point, as it became clear when Mona Lisa, the song made famous by Nat King Cole, began to play, and Ms. Graham smiled at a sudden memory. "I once sang this in the Louvre, for a private function, in front of the Mona Lisa," she recalled. The owner of Whispers, Carlos Vega, surveyed the scene happily as the opera singers filled his bar with sound. "This is what we aim for," he said, as the singers took turns belting out everything from Dolly Parton to Michael Jackson. "This is a little more hyped up."